I told you, it don't matter. Just don't cuss. Damn. What's up, everybody? I'm Sean Carson, and welcome to the closing Sidework. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm not sure when you were going to watch this video, but today is Friday the 13th. So apologies in advance if I happen to turn into a werewolf during this video. Thanks a million for taking time out to be here with us. Be like the cool kids and hit like and subscribe down below. And if you could be so kind, tell your friends to do the same damn thing. Today's episode, I want to talk about the part of the industry that is almost impossible to escape no matter where you work. And I'm talking about the large party. There are two types of servers that exist in the world. You have servers that will do anything to get out of being a part of taking a large table. And then you have servers that love them. They say the more the merrier. They say that it makes the day go by faster. They can get them in, take 3 parties, make their money, and then go home. I'm definitely in the first group. I hate large parties. Not them as people. I just hate them because the larger the party, my anxiety just gets heightened, and anything and everything could possibly go wrong. So I don't. I once paid somebody $30 to take a party for me, and my GM found out, and he was livid. So Gil, if you were watching this video, I apologize. I just didn't have it in me that day. But yeah. And even that being said, sometimes there's no escape. You got to roll up your sleeves and tap in and get in there. As we all know, within the industry, there's not like a settled upon number, like maximum guest per server. Most places I've worked, it's up to 8 people, 1 server. Anything over 8, you need another server. And some places I worked, it was 10 people. During freshman year, when I worked at the sports bar, there was no maximum. The only reason I'm telling you that is because I worked a Super Bowl that was originally a party of 11, but by the end of the night, it was literally 30 people, and it was just me. And I don't know where these people came from, but it was to the point to where I got the impression that the people that were kind of organizing this party, they didn't know any of these people. Their just Super Bowl party got crashed. So, yeah. If you are on a large party with more than 1 person, whoever you are working that party with, y'all got to be in sync. Y'all got to be a united front, because you're only as good as the person that you're working that party with. And y'all got to divvy up the responsibilities. There's got to be a face for the table, and then there's got to be hands for the table. When I used to work at the Asian restaurant, I worked with this guy named John Carlo. He used to tell me all the time, listen, I hate talking to tables, but you like to run your mouth. I mean, obviously. So anytime that we had a big party, it worked flawlessly. I was the one, the charmer. I would talk to the tables, make recommendations and suggestions, and joke with them. He did a lot of the grunt work as far as pre-bussing and refilling, and he enjoyed that. It was a great division of power, and we never had a bad moment. But however you split it up, it's got to be defined roles. So secondly, this is very important. Communication. If you have, let's say, 12 people at a table, you need to decide, is one person going to take all 12 people's order, or are we going to go, okay, I'm going to take this 6, you take this 6. Y'all got to be on the same page from the beginning. Also, when it's time to ring, this is where it's won or lost. There should only be one person ringing. And if you were ringing, you got to be tapped in and focused. I always recommend this, not just for big parties, but tables of more than 4 people, go through everything that you wrote down. So if 15 people ordered, there better be 15 damn dishes that get sent through. The last place that you want to be is like, let's say 10 minutes before that food comes up and you realize, oh shit, I forgot to bring in seat seven's order. That's not going to win you any friends in the kitchen. Sometimes you do get lucky and you bring something in late and that same dish is on part of a dish that's coming down for another order and they just give you that one. That's happened to me a couple times. I don't recommend relying on that. But yeah, go through everything and make sure you're bringing in the correct dish and then any and all of the modifications. So if this one is no sauce, this one is extra garlic, any food allergies, make sure you get all that sent through. And also another thing, most kitchens, they have a maximum number of the amount of dishes that you can bring in on one particular ticket. Again, no real industry standard, but it is usually 7. I used to work somewhere where it was only 5 dishes, which was so frustrating. But whatever the limit is, divvy it up. So if you have, let's say, 21 people at this party, and you're ringing in 7 dishes per ticket before you hit send, at the end of the last dish on a ticket, just type in, hey, check 1 of 3, then check 2 of 3, so forth and so on, however many ways you got to cut it up. So that way when they're traying the food up, they're putting it up in the window, nothing is lost. Which brings me to my second point in all this. One of y'all or all y'all must be present in the window when that food is coming out, or for sure at the table when the food runner drops it off. The last thing that you want to have is where somebody's essentially just auctioning off food. Try and be there. I like to be present for every big party when the food is coming out. I'm usually the one ringing it in, so I know, okay, this chicken fried steak with extra gravy is going to this person. This chicken fried steak with no gravy is going to that person. Your manager and your kitchen manager will despise you if you're not there for any of that. So try to make yourself visible and stay on top of those things because you want everything to go as smooth as possible. So, and in a lot of cases, while you're dealing with this big party, depending on where your section is in the restaurant, you are getting sat at your other tables. So it's important to make sure you and the other person or people that you're working with this party with stay in communication. So food is hit, you're passing the food out, everyone has gotten their food, they've got the right food. The person that ordered shrimp Alfredo, extra Alfredo, has got that one. The person that ordered shrimp Alfredo, no shrimp, no Alfredo, they got theirs. And then you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief. And now this is where it gets kind of easy because at this point, you can kind of just switch back to autopilot and you're just worried about, keeping drinks refilled and seeing if anybody's ordering another round of martinis at the bar. Also, within all of this, pre-busing is key. I cannot stress this enough to you. There's nothing like a big party ordering a bunch of appetizers, and you and whoever the hell else you're working with don't pre-bus, so when the entrees hit, it's just awkward and uncomfortable because they're trying to hand you the dirty dishes and you're trying to pass them the hot food. So pre-bus. Now again, the person that's usually the hands of the operation, they're on top of that. But if you are the face, that don't mean that you're too prissy to pick up a dish. Make sure that's a thing. And like I said, keep it as smooth and organized as possible. Once everybody gets their food, you can focus on charming him, whining him, and dining him, telling jokes, taking pictures of everybody at the table because there's always at least one person that's like, can you take a picture? And in a lot of cases, everyone is passing you their phone. And I'm like, don't y'all know each other? Can't y'all just text each other this one picture? But stay on top of it because people just want to have a good time. And in a lot of cases, if it is all on one check, you're good to go. It's not a big deal. Um, if it's separate checks, while the meal is winding down, that's when you should be splitting up the checks. I don't want to get too far off into separate checks because that's a whole other video that we have planned. But just treat people nice, sincerely. And then when they're all done, they've paid, they've left, they've thanked you, you said you're welcome, come back, see us again. Clean up the table, help the busters out. Clean it up, wipe it down, reset the table, and you're ready for round two. At the end of the night, you and whoever you work the party with, y'all sit down, split up the tips. And also, this is one more thing before we get out of here. If you work in a restaurant where they have removed the gratuity like they have in Florida, it's very important to tell people that before you drop off the bill. I always like to let them know, hey, this bill has not been adjusted in any way. This restaurant, we've gotten rid of gratuity, so forth and so on. So what you see is what you paid for. Get everybody on the same page. Sometimes they will stop you before they even ask for the check, and they'll say, is the service included? I like to have that conversation as plainly and openly as soon as I possibly can. So that way nobody's like, oh, I didn't know. I thought the service was part of yeah, nobody's trying to work for free with 21 people. So look out for yourself, look out for them, and just treat them right, because then that just makes everything so much smoother, and you go home less stressed and no anxiety. So you might have a different way of doing it. I'm not saying my way is the only way. These are just the pointers that have helped me over the years. I would love to hear from y'all, though. Any servers in the audience that have an opinion, that you feel like I didn't cover something that like perhaps you do that I didn't say. I'm all ears, almost literally. So I'm going to get out of your hair. It's Friday. I'm going to relax. Thank you all so much for joining me today. My name is Sean Carson. This is the Closing Sidework. And as always, y'all are amazing. I love you so much. See you very soon.